Man, there's some sick people in this world, let me tell you. That's one of them right there. What's up, guys? It is Rob from Movie Review Time, and I'm back with another movie review. Been wanting to talk about this one for a while. Definitely a classic horror film. It's actually considered to be the landmark of horror, 1972. The Last House on the Left. I just picked up this Blu-ray not too long ago. It's actually in one of my last DVD Blu-ray updates. But yeah, I wanted to talk about this one. Really good film. Though there are some things that I don't really care for, and they're just nitpicks. It's not like that makes the movie terrible or makes it a bad movie. But this film's kind of hard to watch in a lot of ways. 1972, it was Wes Craven's directorial debut. He had no money. Him and Sean Cunningham got together to make this film, and it was inspired by another film from 1960 called Virgin Spring or something like that. It's a Swedish film, actually. That's what inspired this movie. A Swedish film from 1960. Virgin Spring, I think that's what it's called. Anyway, this had a very low budget of $87,000, which sounds like a lot. Actually, I mean, that sounds like a lot of money, $87,000. But it was very successful. It was received well by critics, even though the very first screenings to this film, like in the theater itself, showing these people for the first time, it was not received well. I mean, the movie made like $3.1 million at the box office, but there were people who walked out of this premiere. There were people who threw up because it was so violent. There were people who actually went up to where they have the reels in the theater, and they tried to destroy the film. That's how crazy people got. And Wes Craven talks about that in the special features. So a lot of people had a problem with the violence, and there's so many cuts, like there's so much footage that is erased from this movie. Even on the DVDs, I mean, this is a collector's edition unrated, and there's still scenes that are not included that we'll never see. A lot of scenes from like the rape stuff in the forest, to where Mary is about to die and she says something to her parents about what happened, and then she ends up dying after that. Because in this movie you don't get to see, I mean, the parents find her and she's dead, but you don't, there's no information that comes out, or she doesn't even say anything. But movie stars Lucy Grantham as Phyllis, Sandra Peabody as Mary, who's the main chick in this, David Hess, who I believe passed away a while back, as Krug, and he's the main villain in this with his gang. There's another guy who's named Weasel, and then this chick right here, this crazy animalistic looking bitch. But anyway, it's basically about two girls who stumble upon this gang of killers. They stumble upon them, they go to their apartment and they're held captive at the apartment, and then the next morning they basically put these girls in the trunk of their car. And at this time, these guys are wanted because they killed officers and stuff like that. They escaped, and so they're running from the law. And they put the girls in the trunk and they take them out to the woods, rape them, kill one of them, and then the other one tries to escape, and they kill that one. They come upon this house that's located out in the middle of nowhere by the woods, and it comes to find out that it's the parents of one of the girls that they killed. And then after that, it becomes like a revenge tip. Really messed up film. I mean, I can see how people had a problem with this. I mean, just imagine seeing this for the very first time at that time period, and then, you know, not knowing what the hell's going on. It really surprised people. And they described it as like guerrilla style shooting. Like the way they shot this movie, it was like guerrilla style. Like Wes even said that he wanted it to feel like a documentary in a way, like with the camera shaking, and like people just like whatever lines they, you know, these were actors that were not, I want to say, popular. They did a lot of improv and just let them do scenes, and just whatever comes out comes out. And like you can tell that with a lot of the lines they say, because it is kind of I want to say the acting is not the greatest, because there are just cheesy situations, and that's the thing. Like with the music, some of the music didn't fit. I felt like, okay, so we're watching a serious movie here, but then I felt like, are we watching a comedy? Like, what's going on? Like, the music was very cheesy and just, it doesn't fit. Like, the part where the guys leave their apartment in the morning, they have the girls, and they stuff them in the trunk of the car. The music is playing like this, like, weird comedy, funny kind of music that does not fit. I mean, maybe that's part of the charm, but, I mean, I was just kind of sitting there like, this doesn't, like, is this a musical? Like, what's going on? Like, I don't like how the music kind of changed. Like, you know, this is supposed to be like a serious movie about these killers, and like they rape these girls, and these girls are naked in the woods, like completely naked. So one girl pisses herself because he's like, I want you to piss yourself. And he's like, I want you to piss your pants. He tells that to, what's her name? Lucy Grantham, who plays Phyllis. And she actually did. She actually pees her pants in this movie. When you see it, you know, when she's standing up peeing, that she's really doing that. So we're talking about a serious, violent film, and sometimes they play this music that just does not fit, and it's not. I mean, it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. It really does, and you notice it. But I don't think it's enough to make me not interested in the movie or say, oh, this movie's bad. It's really not. It's just some things that didn't fit well. But I mean, maybe that's part of the charm. Maybe that's part of how, you know, why people think this is like, you know, one of the best horror films ever made. The thing is, like, I like the remake that came out in like 2009, I believe. I like the remake. I thought the remake was great because I thought the characters in the remake were more fleshed out than in this movie. This movie goes quick. Like, you don't hardly know anything about these characters. Like, not even really the parents. You know, the parents are trying to... They're very protective over their daughter, you know, Mary, and she goes out with her friend, and then they end up at that apartment with those killers. But, I mean, the parents are... they're just sitting there, like, trying to throw a party for their daughter, and she doesn't come home. And so it's like, you don't get to really know too much about them. In the remake, I felt like all the characters were relatable. And a lot of the scenes that happened, they extended those scenes to where you care about the characters even more. In this one, it's like it's like there's a lot of cuts going on, and like certain situations that happen, and then the next scene starts and you're like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, wait, I thought this just happened. Like, how come we're going to this already? This doesn't make sense. I mean, the mom in this bites, what's his name's dick off. The guy who played Weasel. She like goes down on him, and then she like bites it off. She's sitting there going like this. That's a crazy scene. Then there's like a chainsaw fight with the father and then Krug. Like there's a chainsaw, or not really a chainsaw fight, but he comes at him with a chainsaw. I mean, the third act is great when the parents start to go ballistic. It's almost like and that's what another thing that the audience didn't like, is that they make you try to feel sorry for these killers, because after they kill the first girl, you kind of see on their face like, what have we done? Like, oh my God, let's clean the blood off. And then they go ahead and try to shoot Mary, and they shoot her like 3 times or something like that. And then they wipe all the blood off, and then like they're like back to normal. And the audience, I remember that one of the complaints is that they try to make you feel sorry for the killers, and they didn't like that. But I was fine with that. I mean, I was okay with that, because it's like, you know, they are human, and it's like they kill some people when they're in the zone, but then they snap out of it, and then there's someone totally different. But by the third act, it almost makes you think that the parents are crazier than these killers. I mean, the dad's coming at Krug with a chainsaw. I mean, how crazy is that? You know, it really, the tables turn in the third act. It just makes the parents seem crazy. Very simple film with a very simple plot. And it doesn't take long for things to get going. It really does not. Other than the acting and some of the musical choices, I think this movie is definitely a landmark in horror. It really is. It's definitely what you call a classic, and you could say that this is one of Wes Craven's best films. You could say that. I mean, there are a lot of great Wes Craven films. I'm going to do a video listing like maybe my top 10 Wes Craven movies. So I think that'd be kind of fun. This Blu-ray, I'm not sure if this is the same as the DVD or what, but this has a lot of special features on it, and I know they just released this. I think Arrow Video has an edition of this, so I'd really like to get that, and there's probably a bunch of features on there as well. But a lot of them probably came from this edition, but I paid like $4 something for this one, so I would, you know, whatever. But anyway, yeah, The Last House on the Left, definitely a movie that leaves its mark, definitely a movie that you would not forget. And it's a movie that maybe not a lot of people would watch over and over again because of the grisly shooting and like the violence that happens, and women getting raped, and the women who are completely naked running around in the woods getting stabbed. I mean, I like the effects in this movie. The effects were done very, very good when the girl Phyllis gets stabbed, and they like pull her entrails out, like a little bit of her entrails. I'm like, oh my God. They like stab her in the back, and he stabs her like how many times? It's crazy. Yeah, there's some messed up stuff in this movie, but I think that's what makes it where people just don't forget. Like, oh, have you heard about that movie, The Last House on the Left? Oh my God. You know, the shock and awe of it. So anyway, if I had to rate The Last House on the Left 1972, I would actually rate this movie, I would give it a solid, I want to say 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 for me. So anyway, what did you guys think of The Last House on the Left 1972? Let me know in the comments what you think. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked this review. I'm going to be back with more reviews. I'm definitely going to review the remake and tell you guys what I think of the remake. So yeah, make sure to subscribe for more content. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.